Hello, and welcome to the Sunday meditation at the Sanctuary of Light in Galisteo and the Light Institute. As you know, if you've been meditating with us, we divide the meditation into 3 parts. And in the first part, we begin always with our own inner voice, the divine essence of our soul, our higher selves. We ask them to take a form so that we have a cognition of that frequency. We ask the higher self to touch our bodies, we draw it in, and then we sit in meditation. After we begin that, I'll make a very short Om, and you can push your button on your computer and to pause so that you can meditate for as long as you wish, and then push it again for the second part, in which we draw white light from the cosmos down through the top of our heads and laser it out through the solar plexus ganglion, through the stomach, which is the seat of the emotional body. And we laser that out. I like to do it across the planet and then back out into the cosmos, so that when we're radiating out light, it helps us to align to that energy, our purpose, our presence, expanding our electromagnetic auric field, which is our presence in this world. And this is very much needed right now, is that we recognize that we have a purpose, that we have a presence. And so when we send that across the planet itself, we are really already performing something that is of great value, bringing light and therefore consciousness and illumination to the whole planet. And then there'll be another Om sound. You can push the pause button again and feel that you're radiating that light out from you. And then in the third part of the meditation, each week we pick a situation or a place or something that we want to extend our consciousness towards, again, as part of our sense of purpose. I was noticing today that 7/19/2020 is numerologically a 3-day. In times past, they put a lot of value on different numbers and how they might affect us. A 3 represents creativity. And at these times, we truly need to awaken our creativity, trust our creativity, that we'll find our way through these funnels of initiation, that we will find new options and new possibilities, new ways of healing ourselves and the planet, etc. So today, let us focus on, in our third part, creativity, our creativity, and radiating that out into the world to activate the creativity of humans, so that this brilliant intelligence and heart energy that we have will help us at this time, and it will. So we can influence that through the purity of our consciousness. Shall we begin? Close your eyes. Take a deep breath into your body, and as you breathe out, breathe slowly. Breathe in and exhale slowly. And ask your higher self, the intuitive essence of your soul, to take a form for you. It matters not what form. A light, a being, a plant, an animal, an equation. See what form comes to you now. Ask your higher self to touch your body where you hold your divine essence. And imagine any place in your body that your higher self touches in order to activate that energy of your divine source. So breathe into the touch. Draw your higher self into your body through that point and sit in meditation. Om. Breathe deeply into your body. And bring humanity into your mind's eye. 7 point something billion people on this planet. Bring them into your mind's eye and ask them what frequency of light they need from you to activate their creative force that will support them, that will illuminate them, that will evolve their sense of self and their potentials. Just take the first color that comes to you now. And whatever that is, exactly that tone, imagine that you're reaching into the cosmos and that you draw that frequency of light down, that color down through the top of your head, into your stomach. Feel it flowing through there and radiate it out to all humanity. And feel that frequency of light, which is the cosmic language of communication, being received by everyone, all humanity. And that as they take in that color from you, it activates their creativity. When we are creative, we are not the victims. We are the ones who come with the possibilities. We sketch them, we play them, we hear them, we sing them, we give them. So keep sending that light in this part of the meditation. Just allow that color to continue to pass down through you and out to humanity as you sit in meditation. Om. Take a deep breath into your body and open your eyes. Thank you. All of humanity will be inspired by what you have just given to the world. And now for the third part of our Sunday meditation, we have this knowings time. It's a time when we bring forward the questions of our hearts so that as those are conversed about, it creates an uplifting not only to ourselves but to everyone. And feel free to pass this part or this whole meditation out to anyone you wish, or to send to the Light Institute as well any questions that are questions of your hearts so that we can address them. And now Alison will give me the questions that have come from around the world this week. Alison.
The first question comes from Japan.
From Japan.
Dearest Chris, will you please speak about how I can talk to my mind to stop the negative chatter that is so overwhelming to me?
That is certainly something that thousands of people who might be listening to this would be nodding their heads at this time. There's a lot of negative chatter going on. The first thing that I would say to you is take a moment and allow yourself to pierce that veil of chatter so that you're actually listening to it just for a moment. Listen to it from a higher level so that you're listening for what is the theme. Is the chatter about anxiety or fear? Is it about anger? Is it about loss of sense of self or loss of others? Just look and get an idea about what that overriding theme is within that negative chatter. And then there are two exercises in consciousness that kind of dovetail each other that you can utilize to release that. But before you do, in terms of your consciousness, let me just remind you that when you spin around clockwise to the right, if you spin until you get dizzy, it might be 2 spins or 5 minutes. When you get dizzy, then look at your thumbs. The spinning brings the 2 lobes of the brain into sync with each other, and that will stop all conversations in your brain, which will allow your brain to slow down so that you move into a meditative state. Because, of course, meditation is the answer to chatter, to resolve by breathing, by relaxing, by opening the self to the cosmic energies, that the chatter can be released. But you could begin with this quick exercise in consciousness. Where am I holding that negative chatter in my body at this time? And again, if you know the theme of it, where am I holding that chatter of fear, that chatter of anxiety, or what if? You can be specific as well. And then just imagine you might feel the place or see the place or hear the place that calls to you, that says this is where this is stuffed inside. And then bring your conscious awareness into wherever that is in your body, whether it's an organ or whether it's a part of your body. Focus there. Ask your body what color it needs to dissolve that negative chatter. It's very fascinating that the moment the color comes into your consciousness, your body has already begun to release the energy because you have given permission through the focus of your consciousness. That's why that works so beautifully. And then the second part of that is it can be specific. For example, if it's about anxiety or fear, you could simply say, body, where are you holding courage or joy or relaxation at this moment? Or simply, where are you holding the power of stillness at this moment? So you can be specific what it is that you want to identify. And then again, wherever you have that sense that stillness or that opposite of what you brought up in negative terms before, bring your conscious awareness again into that place in your body. But this time, imagine that you could prick open the encapsulation of that quietness, that stillness, or that happiness, or that fearlessness, whatever it is, and let that flow through your body so that all of the trillions of cells of your body are receiving that input of higher energy. And then you will find that your whole body can relax so that you realize that you are not the victim, you are not the talking head. You can shift the dial, and bring it about for yourself, an energy that supports you. Your body will thank you, and you will feel peaceful. Great love, Japan.
And the second question comes from Israel. Dear Chris, I've been watching your videos for the past few months, and I love hearing your gentle wisdom and profound thoughts about the future of humanity. Will you tell us what you think the next step is that we all need to take to move beyond the global manipulations we are experiencing by the powers that be?
I think that is really a powerful global illumination. Whatever country you are in right now, you can perceive that you are part of this global ripple that has been going out really for over a year now, where beings who have had power and have wielded power have misused it. And we have begun to call them upon it. We begin to have them rebalance that. And we have showed through our collective consciousness, our collective voices, that we will no longer allow that. The second part of that is, again, that imagine from a spiritual perspective that anyone who comes into your personal life or into our global arena and misuses their power, this power to be, these manipulations that have certainly gone on, they're going on about our health, they're going on about our finances, they're going on about our freedom, they're going on every level. Why is that happening? On a spiritual level, I could say to you, these beings really spiritually are soul friends who are playing that role of showing us what cannot continue in our evolution when it's not in balance. And so we don't want to give them too much power. We want to neutralize them or help them to transmute that negativity that they are accustomed to for whatever illusion they have about their power. And what we do want to see is that they are again showing us what we need to do, what we need to be, what we need to choose. And that is the great gift of that. And so that we say, this will stop now. It will stop because you and I are here, and we will do what comes to us, our own karma, each one of us. Some of us must be a part of a riot or an influencing of other beings, and whatever way we do that. Some of us do that through our consciousness, that can change the energy. What I love about that is that it shows me that we are evolving. We're in a funnel of initiation at this time, and it feels desperate and dark and impossible, as if this manipulation has already hurt your possibilities in life or limited you. In truth, there is nothing that can limit us. We must step forward. We must move towards that manipulation, and in whatever way we do, we can alter it. And especially when we begin to see how if something happens in one part of the world, it ripples out across the planet. If something happens to you, it will ripple out through your family, your community. And so we want to gather our voices. We want to communicate with each other and bring those kinds of energies to the fore that will neutralize manipulation. It is not time for the great leader to control everything and get what they want. It is not that time anymore of the King of the Mountain. It is the time of all beings being aware of the purpose of their lives and wielding that purpose for the highest good. So thank you, and trust yourself. And trust, instead of being angry, you can send light to that being or the group. We could do that right now. Close your eyes and imagine for yourself a manipulation. Maybe it's your government, maybe it's your partner, maybe it's something in the environment, or just see for yourself a point of manipulation, of power that is negative from your perspective. And now ask that misuse of power, that being, that group, that manipulative force, what frequency of light it needs from you to be dissolved, to be neutralized, so that it can be released and there can be an opening, an evolution for all who misuse their power. See what color comes to you. And draw that color from the cosmos. We never diminish ourselves. We use universal power. Draw that light from the cosmos down into your solar plexus and laser it out to whatever or whomever has come into your mind's eye as the manipulators, as the powers that be that have been destructive. And just keep sending that. And keep sending it until you feel that there's a response. There may be that being or group dissolves away, or they turn and face you, or you can feel that they've taken it in. You recognize the response. And open your eyes. It's very powerful to do these kinds of exercises for you to discover that you have something to give and you have something to wield, and that when you say, not that, and by the way, this is very important, when we say not that manipulation, it's very important for us to see the other side. Not the disharmony, not the one group against another, whether it's a race to another, or it's finances to another, or countries to another. When we see that imbalance, and we then send light to that which is the source of that imbalance as far as we can perceive. It's very important for you to imagine the next octave of that. Perhaps you imagine people coming together, helping each other. From a spiritual perspective, all of the things that are happening in the environment and political issues and all of that, they are not just whispering to us, they are yelling at us, pay attention to this. What is the next step? You have to imagine it. Imagine that we could be harmonious. We are the planet of the heart. What is your heart doing now? Is it open? If not, open it. Open it and embrace with all of the yin that needs to come to this planet. Embrace everything. And you will be playing your part. Great love to you, Israel.
And the final question comes from Portland, Oregon, in the U.S. Dear Chris, I've been hit pretty hard this week emotionally, but every time I think I can't go on, some amazing synchronistic event or happening occurs with me that can be no coincidence. Somehow this makes me feel great. Will you please talk about synchronicity and why it makes me feel this way?
Of course. It's a very simple thing, and it's a very powerful synchronicity, very powerful, because first of all, how does it happen? What is it? When you have a thought, or you're holding an energy, you may not even be aware of energies that are moving in you karmically. They create vibrations that ripple out from you. They create magnetic energies. Those magnetic energies bring forth. It's like you become a point of reference. So they bring forth to you energies that will shift, whether it's a situation or a point of consciousness. And so this is why when there's a synergistic thing that happens to you, it uplifts you, because it suddenly feels like it belongs to you, or that you belong to something. For example, you might have a synergistic experience of thinking a thought and somebody has the same thought. And so you realize that your thoughts are not just yours, that you can connect to this person by those thoughts. Or you may be wandering about or doing something, and you again, it comes from your levels of consciousness or awareness. You're thinking something, or you're moving within an energy field, and suddenly there's a butterfly, or there's a bird, or there's something from nature, or a wind that comes up, and you feel as if it's there about you and for you, and it is. But people confuse that and say, the universe is talking to me. The reason we do that is because humans are always looking for something that recognizes us. In actuality, you are what is magnetizing that to you. It's you to you. And you, of course, are a part of the universe. You are a part of everything that is in form and everything that is in the level of potential without form. And that's why it uplifts you, because it's a whisper to you, especially when it comes from nature, because nature always makes us feel uplifted, because nature represents magic to us. So the impossibilities of our life, and suddenly here's this butterfly, or here's this wind that's kissing you, caressing you, talking to you. It's talking to you because you have called it to you. Another level of that is the cosmos, that connection. I used to sleep under a huge glass roof, and I noticed that whenever I was thinking something deeply, some conversation inside me, and I would look up and I would see a shooting star. And that shooting star always meant to me that that's it, you got it. But of course, it is that infinite closed circle, that figurative enlightenment that comes to us. In other words, it is the power of your magnetism that sets something out into the ethers, and then synergistically, in other words, at that moment, that energy magnetizes at the speed of light something that catches your consciousness and confirms to you that there is something that belongs to you and that to which you belong. So absolutely, I think it's very important to all of us to begin to be aware of synchronicity. It's not an accident. It's not a coincidence. Somebody calls you when you're thinking of them, or anything that happens to you in your life on any levels. It is you. And once you recognize that you are not just this limited emotional being, separate, but that you are a conscious point of light in the cosmos. And when you begin to experience yourself in that way, synergistic experiences will come faster and more and more and more, and your life will feel grace, and you will be uplifted and know everything will be all right. Everything is all right. And you are here to give your gift. That's why you're embodied. So imagine the gift that you have. It might be your love. It might be your smile. It might be some part of your intelligence, or just your presence. Great love to you. Until next time.